Let's shift gears here. There's another Group C, Group of Life, Group of Death matchup. Bayern hosting Paris Saint-Germain. The stats tell a slightly different story, but I felt like PSG spent most of the game chasing, maybe half a step behind what Bayern was doing, or at the very least, not really able to predict what Bayern was about to do. So that put us in a position where PSG wasn't really able to lean totally and absolutely on their athleticism, but they were able to break through nonetheless. Bayern had more crosses in this one than PSG, 26-14, more corners as well, 9-5 in that department. So I think that's kind of why my mind was playing tricks on me. The stats outside of that were pretty well balanced. I thought Vigo Stotier for Bayern was excellent in the back. I've heard quite a bit about her, and I kind of maybe didn't see it until this match. You know, I know she snuck in to the Guardian's top 100. I think she was toward the bottom of the list, but she was excellent. She also got the assist on Bayern's first goal. Bayern obviously needed to win this one as Ajax held the tiebreaker over them. And this one was a battle. We talked about kind of how back and forth it went, but what are you going to remember from this one?
It's funny that you frame it that way, because it's like and I know I talk about German football a lot because it's just like they are an ever looming presence in world football since the beginning of our lives, obviously, on the men's and women's side. It's just like a working class, like, we're big, we're tough, we'll knock you around, but we're also very concerned about our technical ability. And there's a discipline that kind of like hovers over the entire footballing culture. And sometimes when you just have athletes like Sandy Baltimore and Chewinga and Marie Antoinette Katoto, sometimes being workmanlike and organized in defense, still hard to deal with that, it turns out. You're obviously not going to win every match, but with Sandy Baltimore, on a team full of great athletes, she still stands out athletically.
100%.
The step overs, the quickness of those, the ability to get the pass off fast, the decisiveness inside the 18 on ripping a shot. I mean, you're guaranteed, no matter how you try to hold them off, there are going to be pieces of the match that are going to be a track meet against PSG. And I think we saw that play out in the spots where PSG needed it most.
Yeah, absolutely. That first spot, I mean, they really had trouble getting into dangerous areas. I'll say that. And I think they also had trouble taking the ball off of Bayern. I think Bayern knew what to do. They were just half a step ahead. There was one play in particular. So at this point, Bayern's up 1-0. Vin gets the goal in the first half to put Bayern up 1. PSG not really able to get the ball in any kind of dangerous areas. They had a couple clean looks, but off a Bayern corner, Pico, the PSG keeper, immediately grabs the ball, skies it past the halfway line. The ball bounces almost 10 or 12 yards past Chewinga, but she's able to run onto it, muscle away Tuva Hansen, and then squirt and dash past Maria Gross to get PSG back into knockout stage position. Tremendous run and finish. I mean, she hit the turbo, and she got PSG level. That was an incredible moment. Team really, really needed it. Their offense was definitely kind of stalling up to that point.
For sure. And I throw around the term like working class and like kind of hard nose when I talk about German football. But that play by Tabita Chewinga, that's working class spirit. That is like, okay, I'm having a hard time breaking through on this, but I am never, ever letting off the gas. Like, I'm just going to go. Like, I will not be deterred. That ball takes the bounce. It takes a big bounce. And right then she's like you said, turbo time. And I'm going for it. And the finish had to be right, or else it's kind of an embarrassing miss. And she hits it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a big money play. Love to see that. Oh, yeah. If you're on the PSG side. 2 minutes later, though, Bayern pulled one right back. Very German fashion. What do you remember from that one?
Who's checking Sydney Lohman in that spot? She's up for that header. I don't know, like, obviously you're going to have your more stout defenders. You have like Amanda Illestedt of the world and Millie Brights out there. But she skies for that header. And there aren't, on their best day, even some of the best defenders, you're going to have a hard time keeping her away from that one.
Great offense beats a great defense. The ball in from Clara Bull was just right on the money. Made it really easy. We talk about, maybe splitting credit. Clara Boule deserves a ton of credit there, especially to come back in a big moment less than 2 minutes later to kind of put Bayern back ahead. But a little bit more drama left in this one. The Sandy Baltimore the goal ends up getting credited as an own goal to one of your Lionesses, Georgia Stanway. But in the 88th minute, Sandy Baltimore, literally something out of nothing. She's got the ball, edge of the box, little dance to kind of clear some space. She just she's like, all right, there's a bunch of people there. I'm going to try and muscle the ball through to see if something good happens. And something really good happened. The ball ping pongs off a couple different players. Georgia Stanway, the last one to get a little body part on the ball, finds the back of the net, 2-2, and Group of Life flipped upside down yet again.
England supporter glasses on. I'll just give the disclaimer. It felt like the ball was on line from Baltimore toward the goal. So maybe a bit unfair to Stanway. I don't think that's really what she's concerned about in this moment. The day after the match is played, she probably doesn't care that it was an own goal against her. Like, I think she's just more upset about the final result. But I would also just maybe putting the positive spin on it. Baltimore deserves that goal because you're exactly right. The dance to give herself that little bit of space, she is elite at that skill. I think we talked about like the step over speed for her and just like the ability to freeze defenders. And she knows if I can crack this through this little alley that I might have, the keeper's going to be largely screened and she's not going to have a shot at it. So smart play. Almost kind of like, speaking of the cross sports references, let me throw the ball down the field. And if I don't get a long completion in the NFL, maybe I get a pass interference. And so instead of the ball trickling through everybody's legs, it ping pongs off some people and you still get the goal.
Yeah, got some good news here, buddy, because in my hand, I've got the ITC personal record book.
Yes.
A couple notes. Georgia Stanway, no own goal. Sandy Baltimore, goal. We keep it moving.
Mark it.
A little bit more drama in this one. Jovana Damjanovic had a look at goal in the very, very dying seconds of the match that would have flipped the group again. She puts the ball in the back of the net, but she was offsides by a few yards.
Yeah.
The crowd went a little wild. She rips her jersey off before anyone was able to figure out kind of what went wrong there. But goal wiped off the board. Bayern's hopes kind of like came and went in literally an instant. I mean, there was no other way for this Group C to wrap. That was the only way that we could have closed the book on this group.
It had to be insane. It had to be life-affirming and devastating for all parties involved. Quick question. Do you rip the jersey off? We see this in football all the time. And then you see the replay and it's like, you're a mile offside. So the question is, do you rip the jersey off because you're just tunnel vision? I got to get this goal, especially in a spot like that. Do you rip the jersey off because you think you did it and you didn't realize you're offside? Or is it gamesmanship and I rip the jersey off thinking surely they're not going, I'm going to make this look like I was so obviously onside. I'm going to try to trick everybody to be like, well, if she's celebrating like that, she must have been onside.
I mean, Damjanovic, smart player, really good player.
Yeah.
I think it's the second one. I think it's gamesmanship, a little bit of showmanship. She's gonna make you raise that flag, right. Despite her celebration. Because I think the one caveat might be, we both played sports, and I feel like when you put a ball out of bounds, or when you committed a foul, or when something was committed on you. Offside's a little tricky one because you've got to have some peripheral vision. You don't know what's going on, to your left or your right or behind you, and the ball's coming through the air, and you got to make a play on it. So could be a little bit of both, but I think. Absolutely, with no VAR, why not rip the jersey off and try to see if the crowd rushes the field and before we know it, Bayern's in and PSG's out.
Right.
We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, special guest joins the pod. Really hope you enjoy it.